Adjourned.
For Friday, November 22nd, this is now on HNN.
You don't expect Democrats going to vote for this?
I think it's very hard for them to impeach you when they have absolutely nothing.
President Trump goes off on the impeachment process. I'm Nicole Killian on Capitol Hill with why he says he wants a trial.
When I saw the flames, I didn't really know what to think.
Terrifying moments for passengers on board a commercial jet after a mid-air engine fire.
It sounded like misfire almost, and then at the same time that the noise was happening, the plane would shake.
How does this compare to a Porsche 911?
Tesla's founder Elon Musk just revealed a new futuristic electric vehicle. I'm Laura Podesta, and I'll show you why this unveiling did not go exactly as planned.
Maybe that was a little too hard.
Tune ukulele and steel guitar.
She's hitting a high note with a wave of new exposure. But did you know legendary country singer Dolly Parton has some surprising connections to the Aloha State? These stories and much more coming up on This Is Now.
Yeah, Dolly.
Oh, I love it. I love her energy.
Hee-haw, Aloha Friday.
I know. Here we are. We've made it. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Jonathan alongside Lacey here.
Hello.
This is now on HNN. You know what? It has been a hectic week here following the impeachment hearings. Every day, there's a new development there. But, we want to get you caught up since they've actually wrapped up in the House committee. Let's start by getting you outside. A live picture of Washington. Right now, it is now 4:30 on the East Coast on a lovely autumn evening. We wanted to show you the White House today. Usually we show you the Capitol. But here's a live look at the White House. The leaves are changing. But you know what? There is so much to talk about still, even though those impeachment hearings have wrapped up. Lacey, what's the latest?
Yes, President Trump spent nearly an hour professing his innocence during a wide-ranging phone call on Fox and Friends this morning. And this comes as the public hearings have wrapped up and Democrats are moving into the next phase of the impeachment inquiry. Nicole Killian has more details from Capitol Hill.
Adjourned.
No more public hearings are scheduled, and a vote on articles of impeachment is expected before the end of the year. But President Trump tells Fox and Friends he thinks he'll win that vote in the House.
You expect an impeachment vote. You expect to get impeached. And would you say you said you embrace the idea
I
of
don't expect it.
You don't expect it? You don't expect Democrats going to vote for this?
I think it's very hard for them to impeach you when they have absolutely nothing.
Democrats say the evidence in the impeachment inquiry shows President Trump was pursuing his own political interest with Ukraine, pressing the country's new president to investigate 2016 election interference, and former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter.
Withholding of recognition in that White House meeting, the withholding of military aid to an ally at war. That is beyond anything Nixon did.
The White House and Republicans are already preparing for a trial in the Senate, and so is the president.
Frankly, I want a trial. I could have it.
You want a trial?
The president met with GOP senators at the White House Thursday, including frequent critics Mitt Romney of Utah and Maine's Susan Collins.
When it gets to the Senate, we're going to do it. We're going to do it right. Now, everybody's going to have their day in court.
And the president's allies are taking up his push to investigate the Bidens. Senate Judiciary Chairman Lindsey Graham is requesting documents from the State Department about Joe Biden's interactions with Ukraine while he was vice president. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
All right, we got some breaking news into our newsroom just hours ago. Lacey, what can you tell us?
A former Penn State assistant football coach, Jerry Sandusky, has been given the same penalty at his resentencing as before. That's 30 to 60 years in prison. A judge sentenced the 75-year-old Sandusky just hours ago at the courthouse in Bellefonte. Sandusky was convicted of 45 counts of child sexual abuse in 2012 and sentenced to 30 to 60 years. An appeals court said laws mandating sentence minimums in place at the time of his October 2012 sentencing had since changed. Sandusky again asserted his innocence this morning. He choked up twice in brief remarks to the judge and told his supporters he loves them.
All right, some scary moments in the skies yesterday. This video is crazy.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, this is from passengers on board a commercial jet after a mid-air engine fire. The plane had just left Los Angeles International Airport yesterday when the engine failed. The airline is investigating what went wrong with the engine. Chris Van Cleve reports on how this whole emergency unfolded.
The terrifying moments caught on camera. Adam Taylor and his wife traveling with their young daughter Maui when flames started shooting out of their Boeing 777's right engine. Adam describing that moment.
When I saw the flames, I didn't really know what to think. I was kind of just like, is this like a car when it backfires or something? Or what's going on here?
Another passenger knew something was wrong right after takeoff.
It sounded like misfire almost, and then at the same time that the noise was happening, the plane would shake.
She says the crew initially didn't react until passengers got their attention.
They all got up and tried to look out the window, and then they saw it. They would go back, try and talk to the pilot, hopefully, I think that's what they were doing, and then go and try and look at it again to see maybe if it was gone. He didn't say anything through like the intercom, so we were all kind of just, everyone was kind of panicking.
The flaring engine visible from the ground.
There's a heavy 777, they're an emergency with an engine out.
According to FlightAware, Philippine Airlines Flight 113 took off from LAX at 11:38 a.m. Pacific Time Thursday. Shortly after, an airport spokesperson says the pilot declared an emergency, pointing to a possible mechanical issue. The plane returned to LAX just after noon, met by first responders on the tarmac. Passengers got off the plane safely and were bused back to the terminal, many of them spending hours on a ticketing line trying to find another way onto another flight. Despite the rough start, little Maui and her family are ready to restart their adventure.
Were you very brave? And were you a good girl? Yeah.
Well, that little Maui, she was brave.
I get afraid just
imagine?
with turbulence, and if I could see flames, I would freak out.
No, that was so spooky. Glad everyone's safe there. We do, speaking of air travel and the upcoming holiday season and the rush, there was another airline, whoopsie.
Yeah, so that's what Frontier is saying after an email was sent notifying passengers that their flights were canceled, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. With the busy Thanksgiving travel week approaching, on Thursday, travelers say they were sent an email saying, quote, "There has been a change to your upcoming flight." The wording suggested a flight cancellation. The message directed travelers to call Frontier's rebooking hotline to speak with an agent. Customers immediately started calling the customer service number, but some said they got no answer. The airline eventually sent a tweet apologizing, saying the incident was a technical problem and the email was sent in error. Frontier urged customers to check for confirmation of their flight online.
Ooh, I hope some people got some free vouchers or something out of
that.
that.
Especially around this time, there's so much going on with the holidays, but to hear your flight is canceled, not what you want to hear.
Not cool, but it seems like they're trying to do their best to make up. All right, switching gears, we got an update on some news from Maui.
Yes, firefighters on Maui, they're monitoring a brush fire fanned by strong winds, but we are able to report at this hour that it is now 100% contained. The fire, first reported about 1:40 p.m. yesterday, was threatening Kahikinui homesteads on the southern flank of Haleakala, next to Ulupalakua Ranch. At least a dozen homes were evacuated, but all evacuation orders have been called off and no roads are closed. Meanwhile, a portion of Pi'ilani Highway that was closed in the area has since reopened. The flames scorched approximately 300 acres, but the fire was no longer actively moving or growing. That's according to officials. There were no reports of any injuries or damages.
Good to hear there.
Yeah.
All right, get a check of the weather now. We're taking a live look. We're looking
Beautiful.
outside at Diamond Head from our tower cam. Some beautiful clouds in the sky there. Looks like a Bob Ross painting almost.
A lot sunnier now. Earlier this morning there was some showers, but I see some sunshine to start off our Friday.
And let's hope it sticks around for the weekend. Let's check in with our very own Guy Hoggy for the very latest.
How's it on this Aloha Friday? I'm Guy Hoggy with your HawaiiNewsNow.com forecast. A wind advisory has been posted for almost the entire state except for the South Kona coast. Those winds will be running 20 to 30 miles an hour, gusts upwards of 50 miles an hour. We've already had power outages, and that could happen again over the next couple of days because those winds aren't expected to back off until maybe Monday. So you can see the winds right now running very brisk and breezy, especially over in Maui County. And again, that could lead to road hazards and maybe those power outages as well. We've also have a disturbance kind of hovering close to the the state. So thunderstorms were firing up earlier. There's a potential for thunderstorms across the state early this morning. And then as the day progresses, that disturbance will move away and we'll be left with some scattered showers out there. So again, there's a threat for thunderstorms, not guaranteed. There's just a possibility for thunderstorms across the state this morning. And then we'll get those gusty winds lingering probably through tomorrow. And then as far as the surf, it's on the way down for north and west shores. The high surf advisory there has been tossed out. But the strong winds have kicked up a big east swell. It's going to be rising through tomorrow, 6 to 8 feet there, and that's why the high surf advisory is posted. Not much happening on the south shore except for the box jellyfish, which are expected to swim in through tomorrow as well. So possible thunderstorms today, really not a whole lot of rain. After that, there will be scattered showers moving through tomorrow. Those winds are the bigger issue. Very gusty, upwards of 50 miles an hour through Saturday, slowly easing up into the early part of next week. Keep it here in Hawaii News Now. We'll have all your severe weather updates.
All right. Even if we get a little rain, a little wind this weekend, it's not going to ruin my weekend because I got these.
Oh, who is going to Janet Jackson?
I'm going. You going?
Yes, I am. What day are you going?
Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. I will see you there.
Okay.
It's a date.
Yes.
Well, speaking of Janet Jackson, she is the latest celebrity to support the TMT protest at Mauna Kea. She and her dancers stood for about a minute with the Mauna hand sign as images of the protest played on the screens behind her.
There we see that right now on stage yesterday at the Blaisdell. Yeah, that was last night's concert, I believe. You know, we've been talking about Janet for weeks now here on This Is Now, and for a special reason. Do you remember Anna?
Yes.
Yeah.
Local girl.
Yeah. She got a shout out from Janet.
Yes, she did. And I think she's actually going to be performing with her, right?
Yeah, I heard that news this morning. You know what? Billy V and your gang from Sunrise has the details. Let's listen to what they had to say this morning.
Whew, we made it.
Well, not done yet.
Almost.
This is the best part.
Well, it's an Aloha
Friday!
But tomorrow will be more exciting for one young lady and her family. We told you about recording artist Anna V performing a duet with Janet Jackson. That's going to be tomorrow night at Blaisdell.
That's awesome.
That's Chicken Skin. Here is Anna's hit song if you're not familiar.
Yeah, my favorite place is that H-A-W-A. H-A-W-A.
Now keep in mind that Anna V wrote that song. That's her song. Jackson gave a shout out to her and the song, and then this happened.
H-A-W-A. I like that song. Her people did reach out to me. They asked me on the 23rd if I'd be available. Still, I think, oh, I'm gonna meet her. And then they call me and they say, Janet wants to put you on the show. They want to bring you part of the show. I'm like, really? So still yet, they're not saying anything. They're like, she wants to duet Hawaii. I'm like, so not only do I get to meet her, but I'm going to be on stage and sing with her. That's just, it's a dream come true.
Now this is Chicken Skin for her. Now Anna V's song is already a hit on Hawaii radio, but did you know, okay, there's a picture, that's mom on the left, Anna V of course in the middle. Took that picture yesterday. This is the album cover of her mom in 2003,
Wow.
and this is the hit song that she had back then. Take a watch.
Baby, I want you. Baby, I need you. Baby, I do anything for you.
So this is awesome, you know, that mom and daughter are in the recording industry. Now, take into consideration Anna V's song, Hawaii, she's just released it just this past year. She's only performed once here on Oahu, so this is going to be her second time performing on Oahu.
What?
With
Janet Jackson.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Yeah, so if you get a chance and you're there at the concert, make some noise for her tomorrow night. She's stoked. She's a little nervous. She hopefully will have a rehearsal today at last we heard with Janet sometime today.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, she's gonna be great.
Yeah, good job.
Go
Can't
get
wait
her.
to see it.
Chicken Skin.
Whoa, what a big
Yeah.
moment.
I know, and you've been practicing your hand dance.
H-A-W-A. I can tell you. I think I got it. I think I got it.
Yeah, you're so
You know,
good.
Anna is just the nicest person, and we're so proud of her doing it big. I mean, who gets to perform with the Janet Jackson?
Miss Jackson.
Yes,
to
Miss
see.
Jackson. Yeah.
Steve is great there. We had another legendary singer to talk about. I wrote this article yesterday. We're talking about Dolly Parton.
Love her.
She is everywhere right now. She's the subject of a new podcast that's all over the internet. She was just on a special on ABC. There's an NBC special coming up later this month on
busy.
HNN about the Grand Ole Opry. Then there's even a Netflix show about her coming out.
Wow.
And a Hallmark Hall of Fame movie coming out Christmas at Dollywood. I know you're gonna watch that.
I love some Dolly.
She's 73 years old.
She looks amazing.
Been entertaining for 6 decades.
She's fabulous, and she has just such a great energy and such a great spark about her. I would never guess that she's in her 70s.
No way. And I hope I'm like that. But you know what? She's actually, this article that I wrote up, 5 surprising connections she actually has to the Aloha State. For one, she used to have a restaurant here, and I found a clip of her performing their special song. Let's listen to it.
Aloha, neighbor, how have you been? How's it, stranger? Come on in. Tune the ukulele and steel guitar. Grab your old ladies tonight, you're the stars. Put your hands together, get your feet on the floor.
Oh yeah, that's a hit right there, right?
I love that outfit and that hair.
Well, that's just one of the things that she has a connection to here. She also owned a home here. And guess what? You can still stay in it. Here it is at Portlock. $1,600 a night.
A night.
A night. She no longer lives there, so you won't be seeing her. She has another couple connections. I found out she doesn't like poi.
Really?
Yeah, she said it in her
Well,
TV
okay,
show that was based here in the 1988.
That is a hard one to eat, I think, just the taste and texture.
She's not a fan, that
But I
Dolly.
wonder what she does like. Anyway, we're still a fan of her. We love
We
you,
love
Dolly.
you, Dolly. And, thanks for showing your support for us, too, from time and time again. All right, what's up next? We have a big celebrity guest coming to SNL.
Yes, so Saturday Night Live creator Lorne Michaels welcomes back one of his show's longtime cast members this weekend. Will Ferrell returns for his 5th appearance as a host. Mark Barger previews his milestone visit.
Anyway, Melissa, we're here to present you with your very own 5-Timers jacket. Congratulations. That piece of apparel's become a tradition for 5-time host of Saturday Night Live. But this week, it might end. What? With Will Ferrell.
They've run out of 5-Timers jackets, so they're giving me just a fun, 5-Timers bucket hat.
Hi, everybody! The longtime cast member's back in the studio. So check me out. That made him famous.
What the heck is this handsome devil doing back in the Oval Office?
You never really forget how to do it. I hope not. We'll see Saturday.
But there's definitely no forgetting one Ferrell sketch.
It always puts a smile on my face.
And it created a catchphrase.
I gotta have more cowbell.
That remains almost 20 years later.
That's the beauty of this place, that Lorne kind of promotes, trying whatever you want to do. And then crazy stuff like that happens.
Almost as crazy as the idea of Ferrell following in the double-duty footsteps of Chance the Rapper and Harry Styles.
Well, I am the musical guest. I am King Princess. I've always been called King Princess. And you'll see, I don't look anything like myself. I look like a 21-year-old woman. It's remarkable.
King Princess and Will Ferrell join A.D. Bryant and Company.
So cool.
For what they hope's a remarkable Saturday in Studio 8H. Mark Barber, NBC News.
Awesome.
King Princess. I just love Will Ferrell.
I didn't know we shared a nickname.
King
yeah.
Princess. I guess so.
That reminds me, I have to watch my yearly round of Elf, the movie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's the holidays. Gotta check that out.
Officially kicks it off. Of course, what is that? Step Brother, year-round classic.
Oh,
yeah.
He's great. I'm so glad to see him again. I'm definitely gonna watch that on Saturday after the Janet Jackson concert.
Yes,
I might have to tape it. All right, we got some news regarding a huge sale for a comic book.
Yes.
This just hit the internet.
It is rare to find an almost perfect copy of Marvel Comics' first comic book, aptly named Marvel Comics 1, but one in near mint condition just sold for a record $1.26 million. It's the finest known copy of the comic book, according to Heritage Auctions, which handled the bidding. It's also the most anyone has ever paid for a comic from Marvel Comics. The comic book was released on October 1st, 1939, and it introduced fans to characters including the Human Torch, Angel, Submariner, and the Masked Raider. Millions!
Think of where Marvel has gone since then. I mean, they're everywhere. I think the highest selling comic, though, is actually the Superman first edition. It sold on eBay a couple years back for like $3 million. So that's it's not Marvel, but
You know how much groceries I could buy with $3 million?
enough.
A
We'd
lot.
have a good Thanksgiving, I think. All right, and speaking of something we need to save up for, there's a new vehicle hitting the market very soon. Everyone's talking about this.
Yes, a tech company Tesla has unveiled what it calls a bulletproof new product. But as CBS News' Laura Podesta reports, the new electric pickup truck didn't exactly live up to the hype. Take a look.
It's called a Cybertruck. Tesla's founder Elon Musk revealed the futuristic electric vehicle last night at the Los Angeles Auto Show. He bragged the truck has a maximum 500-mile range and claims it performs better than some sports cars.
How does this compare to a Porsche 911? Yeah.
When demonstrating the vehicle's durability, the sledgehammer test went off as planned. But throwing baseball-sized metal spheres at the so-called armor glass did not.
Maybe that was a little too hard.
Tesla has long struggled with production and profitability. Experts say the company is making a good pivot into the pickup industry.
Pickup trucks are far and away the biggest segment in the United States. Millions of trucks are sold every year. As Tesla's looking to expand their growth, getting into the pickup segment is a really good way to go.
The price point could turn a lot of car owners into truck owners.
But I do see a lot of people who've been thinking about maybe getting a truck, moving for something like this because it's got the practicality of a car in a lot of ways. And it's relatively affordable, too, starting at under $40,000.
But there's a bit of a wait. This version of the Cybertruck won't be available until 2022. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Oh, I have to wait till next Christmas.
Oh, shucks.
You've got some time to save, I think.
Yeah, I know. That's a little awkward, though.
I know. You'd think you would test out your demonstration 101 there, guys.
Yeah.
It looks like a DeLorean, though. I'm into it. You know, the
It's
Back to the
pretty
Future
cool.
car. I'm very into it. I'll take one.
Christmas 2022, right?
Yeah, know what I want.
Yes.
But what I want right now is this day to fast forward, because tomorrow's Janet Jackson for us!
Woo! And it's the weekend!
Oh, what? It's the weekend?
The weekend!
Everybody's working for the... I won't sing. I swear I'm going to stop singing. I swear. We'll be back here on Monday.
Happy
no
Friday!
singing allowed. Bye, guys.